Hi everyone, great to see you, and welcome to this our live podcast here from Bull Close. Sorry we're a few minutes late. We just had one or two issues with the sound, hence we haven't got our headsets on today. We're just doing it with the camera and microphone. I hope that the quality will be good, and the microphone quality on the camera is pretty good, so there shouldn't be a problem. It's just we like to do it with the headsets so that we get really good quality sound, and Sensei, Maisie and I can hear each other better all the time as well. Not that we can't hear each other when we're sitting this far away, but we can also hear how loud we are on the broadcast. So today we're going to do a bit of a roundup, give you an update of what we've been doing, what we're going to be doing, the way we see things possibly developing, because obviously things are an ever-changing situation, so we're going to update you on what we think may well happen, and then hopefully we can press on from there. Sensei Maisie's going to join me in just a second. She's doing all the technical stuff to get things started, and here she is.
Here I am.
Here she is. So on the positive side, you won't be able to hear us. Well, you won't be able to hear me breathing in between the.
Or coughing into the microphone.
Yeah, going in. So that may be better for you. But those microphones on the headsets are very sensitive, aren't they? So we're very conscious of that when we're speaking, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm conscious that people can hear me breathing as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But hopefully everybody can hear us okay.
Yes.
Don't forget to let us know if you're watching. Of course, if you want to let us know that you're watching.
Yeah, it's nice to have some interaction. It's always good.
Drop some comments in the box. We can read out any questions that you've got, or ask any questions that you want to ask. Don't forget we're live on YouTube as well. You may be watching us on YouTube already, actually. But if you're not, then we are. And we've got a live chat on YouTube that you can watch. That you can comment in as well.
Yeah, so you can comment on either YouTube or Facebook.
I'm just trying to bring both up in front of me so I can see any comments that do appear. And I can relay your messages. I have my phone as well, so if anybody's sending me a message directly, I can read that out too.
Wow, we're all teched up here.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So let's review where we've been the last, it's 2 weeks since we've done one of these, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in the last couple of weeks, we've started one-to-one lessons, online one-to-one lessons. They're going extremely well, aren't they?
I'm really pleased with how quickly they get booked.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with how quickly people seem to jump in there and book themselves a slot, which I think is good. People are obviously liking the one-to-ones because they go each week, don't they?
Yeah, and people, and please don't take this in any way other than complimentary. People are keen to have another slot after they've had one.
Yeah.
Which is marvellous, you know. We would hate the opposite to be true, wouldn't we?
Of course. Yeah.
You know, people have 3 booked, and after the first one they cancel the second and third one.
Yeah, or they've had one and they clearly didn't enjoy it, so they never come back again, kind of thing.
So we are pleased. The only thing we're trying to do is space you out a little bit so that everyone gets a chance.
Yeah.
It seems to be working well. We haven't had anyone say, "Oh, I'm trying to book a lesson," but they've all gone all the time.
No.
So if you are experiencing that, if you have tried to book and there's never one available, let us know, and we'll try and accommodate you some way, won't we?
Yeah, I'd like to encourage the kickboxers to get involved just a little bit more. Get yourselves in, get a slot, get it booked in, and you can do a 30-minute session with GMV or Coach Martin. Coach Martin's available for Muay Thai as well, so if you're somebody who does Thai as well as kickboxing, or you just do Thai, then like I say, get yourself booked in. If you feel like a training session and you're struggling with motivation, or doing the virtual classes isn't working for you, then you can have that one-to-one slot, and it's free of charge. So I think people should take us up on these offers.
Absolutely.
They're there.
We want to be busy. We want to interact with you. We want that loop to be completed. And I know it's not the same when I'm watching somebody on a MacBook or something. It's not exactly the same, but I can still offer corrections. You know, I can still say, lift that hand higher, pull that hand back, tuck your chin in, or whatever, So it's worth doing the
And
one-to-one.
you can ask questions as well. It gives people an
Yeah,
opportunity
it does,
to ask us a question face to face if you've had a question on your mind. I mean, I had a one-to-one with somebody not last week, the week before, and he didn't necessarily want to do any karate. He wanted a stretching routine. So somebody who's struggling with his flexibility, and he just wanted me to go through some stretching ideas with him. So don't think that if you book a one-to-one slot, you have to do a lesson, or you have to have something specifically related to that style of martial art that you want to work on. It could be something like, can you help me with my flexibility? Can you give me some stretching ideas? Things that I can do at home, and I can work on my flexibility.
Really, I suppose what you could do, you could look at those one-to-one sessions. You have 30 minutes of our time for you to dispose of as you wish,
Yep.
Maybe you just like a chat. No, don't book it if you just want to chat.
You can book me for a chat if you want to chat. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. That's cool. If you want to have a chat, no problem. It's a bit easier for me as well. It means I can sit down and do a one-to-one, and I don't have to stand up for the whole thing.
All right. Well, all joking aside, we're very flexible on the one-to-one content. We just want to see them used and see the interaction.
Yeah,
That's
of course. Yeah.
the most important thing.
And it has been going really well so far.
Yeah, we got some more this afternoon.
Yep. Wednesday is one-to-one day.
Yeah, and we've got some more Saturday, have we?
I'm just going to add, they are virtual one-to-ones before anybody starts kicking off that we're doing one-to-ones.
Yeah.
They're virtual, they're via Zoom, so stay calm.
Yes. Touch wood, if there's anything wood around here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All our Zoom conferences have gone well, haven't they? I've heard some scary stories about some Zoom conferences, but as far as I know, everything's gone well. Well, everything has gone well with us.
Everything's gone well for me, so
yeah. So let's not worry too much about that. If everything's going good, then let's just stick with it and make it work that way.
And I like using Zoom. I think it's quite easy to use, and I think even people who aren't up to date on technology can download Zoom and they can, find a way to make it work. So I think it's a good way to go. And
they just have to click on the link that we send them anyway, don't they?
Exactly.
Send the invitation.
Yep, exactly that.
So just in case you're not sure how it works, let's say you go and you book a lesson for Saturday. We'll get a notification that you booked. If the lesson is with me, well, it will be for a Saturday. Say it's me, then I need to send you an email, send you an invitation to the conference. You'll get the invitation, you just click on the link in the invitation, and hey presto, away we go.
Although at the minute there are no one-to-one slots for you for this Saturday, simply because last Saturday none of them got used.
No.
So I think we were sort of toying with the idea, shall we do Saturdays or not?
Well, there was something else that I was thinking about for Saturday, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Shall we talk about that now?
Yeah, good idea.
I've been in discussions with a couple of venues about being able to do some outdoor classes. And I was hoping to be able to do some outdoor classes this Saturday for anyone who was interested. Unfortunately, the time frame just isn't going to work for this week, for that particular location anyway.
Well, simply because they just need to get a little bit more clarification.
Absolutely,
so
yeah, they do. I'm not blaming anyone.
And it's not that they've immediately said, oh my God, no, you cannot do that.
No, not at all.
They just need to speak to the powers that be, as it were.
They need to get, what's the expression, get all their ducks in a row.
Exactly, yes.
But it's a definite possibility.
Yep.
So
and it'll be good, I think, and I think I'm positive it's going to come off, and I think it will work really well.
It'll be lovely to have some sort of group sessions again.
I think it's important to stress that it will be just 5 people in a class with you as the 6th person, because obviously we're only allowed to meet 5 other people from outside of our household, and it'll be very strict. You must stay 2 meters apart, and you must wash your hands and do all of the stuff that we all know that we have to do now.
And a key thing, of course, you must bear this in mind, we will not have access to toilets.
No access to toilets, and
so make sure you have a wee before you come.
Yeah, and if it's really sunny, you need to make sure you bring your sun cream because
And your hat.
Yeah,
You can train in a hat, no problem.
all of that stuff. Make sure you bring your drinks, and it will be a very, very different experience. But we have to kind of make do with what we have at the minute, don't we?
Yeah, in a way it's
good way to
exciting
do
though,
that.
isn't it? You know, and sometimes it's good to break out of old routines and old shapes of things and do
Yeah.
things in a slightly different format,
Yeah,
even if it's only temporarily. And I think this will be lovely. It'll be an experience that we can all remember. We can all look back and say, oh, I remember the lockdown of 2020
yeah,
when we had to do classes like this. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Well,
Yeah.
you know, and it'll be okay. It'll be good. Because we can only have small groups at the moment. Well, who knows? By Saturday week, we may be allowed to meet with 20 people, perhaps not 20,
only
but
20 now.
but we'll see. You know, the number may have changed.
But I mean, go on. Sorry, carry on. Before
But we will probably have a booking system, and we will probably have more than one lesson, you know, one after the other.
yeah,
So, you know, I'm thinking, and this is just me thinking out loud really, I'm quite prepared to do 3 or 4 45-minute sessions with a 10 or 15-minute gap in between, and people can just book into those as and when, if that sounds like something you'd like to do.
Yeah.
The location at the moment will be Harleston, because
Yeah.
I sort of know people around the Harleston area, and I can perhaps manage to make that work. I'm struggling a bit in Norwich at the moment. I can't think of anyone to ask if I can use a grassy space
But
outdoors.
do you know what? I think as well it would give people a chance to leave Norwich. If you're somebody who lives in Norwich and you think, oh, I want to get out,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
come to Harleston. You know, it's not a million miles away, despite what everybody thinks. And you know, it's a really nice place, isn't it? The Rec in Harleston.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
It's a massive open space where you don't run the risk of bumping into anybody and thinking, oh, too close, 2 meters, you know,
Yeah.
because it's such a big space, and there's parking available and all that kind of stuff. And parking is always one of those things in the city where you think,
always a challenge.
can we park places? But when you come to the countryside, things are a little bit different. So we're hoping that's going to come off. We're quite confident, we're quite excited about it. As you've said already, it will be a booking system online where you book yourself into a class. It's really important because what will happen, there'll be slots for each class, and each class will obviously have a maximum of 5 people who can book into that class. It's really, really important if you're booking more than one person into that class that you book 2 slots, because otherwise we run the risk of having 6 people with you being the 7th, then we can get in trouble.
Yeah, we'll be in deep
So
doo-doo then.
if you want to book Fred and George in together, don't book one slot, book one for Fred and then book another one for George. It will just make our lives a lot easier as well.
Yeah, something else I will probably do as well, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I will probably suggest that the classes are aimed at different levels of grade.
Yeah.
So for instance, have a lower grade class, an intermediate grade class, and a high grade class. I'll be quite flexible on those, you know. I don't want to say, oh no, you can't come at that time because so-and-so. But it would be nice, and of course if we're only doing 45 minutes, it would be nice to cover the things that you need to cover, rather than some stuff that, you know, maybe isn't quite as relevant to you. Yeah, I know sometimes the high grades get a little bit frustrated when we have to cover the low grade stuff quite often. It would be lovely to have a black belt class or a brown and black belt class. That'd be super, wouldn't it? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the people from DIS won't have too much trouble travelling to Harleston.
No, I hope not.
And if any of the people who work at the high school are watching, DIS High School, then if you might be able to facilitate us using the field, or you can put us in touch with somebody who could use the field, then that gives us another option, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear about that, wouldn't we?
And I mean, there's no reason. Well, I was going to say there's no reason why we can't do them on different days of the weekend, but I suppose now with the schools kind of reopening, we're a little bit more limited on when we can use the high school field.
Yeah, and we would have to really think about how we would schedule things in, simply because of all the things that we've already got scheduled
we already do, exactly.
But but that's not too bad. We can work around that. Maybe with that in mind, it might be worth mentioning that we're not going to do this podcast live on a Wednesday after today. This is going to be the last one.
This will be the last one. Just because I feel like I need to cut myself into about 4 to be able to spread myself equally amongst all the things that we're doing right now.
And also, not being rude, and we don't mind this, but very few people seem to watch it live anyway.
Yeah.
Lots of people are watching it, but they're watching it on demand, aren't they? They're going to watch it after we've broadcast it, which is fair enough.
It's absolutely fine. We've got no problem with that whatsoever. But what we are going to do is we'll go back to our old format of Brain Dojo podcasts, where it's a podcast, it's a sound file that's uploaded to a format where you just listen to it. And we record those differently, don't we? You know, we can record those at any time of the day. We don't have to be here to do those. So it just allows us to get on with some other things as well that we have got planned, and especially if the live classes or the outdoor classes do begin to pick up, then I'm sure we may even look at rescheduling or having a change around of the current stuff that we already do.
Yeah, we will have to. As things develop, we will have to reschedule. We will have to make changes. And I hope everyone's okay with that.
And there's no reason why we can't do things like my PE class, you know, there's no reason why we can't do one of those outdoors at the weekend if people wanted to do that. And it would save then, for example, if people wanted to do that, I then wouldn't necessarily need to do a class on a Tuesday and a Thursday as well, because it would be almost a little bit too much PE for people. But I mean, people get the idea. We don't want to overload you with the stuff that we are doing. We definitely don't want you to get bored. We definitely want you to enjoy what we are doing and feel like it's really beneficial for you. But we're both the same, and we constantly want to be moving forwards, don't we?
We have to progress, don't we?
We're always looking at ways to make things better, and I think that now the prospect of being able to go outside and do a class has come around. It could be really, really good for us, I think.
Yeah. Well, also to reassure you, we are also getting everything up to speed here at the Academy, so that as soon as indoor classes are allowed, we will be ready to go.
I'll tell you, you don't want to see the chaos that's behind the camera and to the side of the room here. We've cleared a space to make it look normal, but there is a lot going on here at the minute. We've been really busy with our decorating, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had a new heating system put in.
Yeah, we've got a new heating system. I've been crawling around in the roof space trying to fix a leak. And, it's been crazy.
Honestly, the place is in chaos.
Yeah, it is.
But it will all be put back together and all be ready to go.
And the good thing is that it already looks nicer, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so
this room doesn't at the moment.
No,
but
this is the chaos room,
yeah.
Which is kind of frustrating as it's the main room and the biggest room. But anyway, you'll have lovely changing rooms to come back to, and you've got lovely toilets to come back to, because I'd say they are completed. They're not quite completed. The finishing touches need to be added, but
I'll put the lampshades in today.
Oh yes, yeah. But they do look nice.
Yeah.
You need your sunglasses now when you go in there, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, no one dozing off in the toilets now.
Not anymore, no.
Right.
So yeah, that's really been our week, hasn't it? Or 2 weeks, rather.
Yeah, just one thing on, Sensei Maisie said about our podcast will just go to an audio format from now on. The only thing that would change that is if lots of you said, oh, no, I really like the video format as well. That really makes a difference. I really like to watch you talking or watch what's going on visually as you're speaking. Then we would consider continuing with this. We could record it. It still wouldn't be live. We wouldn't do it live. But we could record it and upload it so that it was on demand. We're just debating whether to do it audio only or audio visual, both. We've had 2 or 3 people say they're loving the podcast, they like the material, and usually they'll say, I listen to them on my phone while I'm on the keyboard or I'm doing something else.
Which is nice.
Which is obviously they're just doing the audio, aren't they? You know, and that's fine. We don't mind.
Well, the reason, I mean, we normally do an audio podcast. Is what a podcast is, an audio program that you listen to. But the reason that we decided to do it with video is because we can go out live to formats like YouTube and Facebook. And it's nice for you guys, well, hopefully nice for those guys, to actually see us as well and see this place and to feel like you're having a little bit of normality.
Yeah, having a bit of interaction. It's nice.
Yeah, and from the comfort of your own home as well. I realise, and I'm sure that you realise as well, a podcast in an audio format is probably a million times easier to listen to.
Of course it is.
You know, you can pop your headphones on or your earphones in, or you know, you don't have to watch a podcast. That's kind of the whole point of it. And really, you don't have to watch us now because we're not doing anything apart from talking. But the reason for choosing to do the video as well is, well, one, because we wanted you to see us, like I've already said, and two, because video is what we do. It's one of our second businesses, so we have the capability to be able to do it.
But to be fair, I often listen to stuff on YouTube, and that's the key. I listen to stuff on YouTube. So I'll download a file or I'll listen to it, you know, just directly from YouTube, but I won't watch it because I'll be doing other things. But the information that's being passed on by sound is perfectly good enough for me. It's what I need. So even if you take one of these video podcasts and you just listen to it, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should still get the same value from it. You
Definitely.
just won't see me waving my hands around and scratching my chin and picking my nose, you know. I don't really pick my nose.
Hugo's put a comment on here, and Hugo Ivoli, and he said that, what about Eaton Park for classes in Norwich?
Yeah, Eaton Park, the thing, Hugo, is there are lots of venues. I think Slowbottom Park would be good as well, because that's very flat and it's quite near. But what I don't know is, who do I ask?
That's the problem, isn't it? Because you do need to have permission.
Or do we? I mean, you know, is it okay to just meet and do a group session? Or do we need permission from the owners of the park?
Personal trainers do these sessions in parks and things, don't they? Where they might do a one-to-one, or back in the olden days before COVID, they used to do outdoor, like, circuit training in the park. I know they do, because I used to see it on Facebook and things. So I don't know, do you need permission for that sort of thing? I would assume it's just a polite thing to do, but who do you ask?
Well, if I don't need permission, then let's do it, let's arrange something.
Yeah.
But if anyone is able to clarify that,
Yeah,
if anyone can say, well, you do need to check with the council or whatever, then good. But yeah, Eaton Park would be fine. It's a little bit further away from us than Slowbottom.
Yeah, we want something closer to Bull Close, really, as that's where we're based.
And that's where most of our student base is as well, so that would make more sense.
And also, I'm going to point out
we can do it on the children's play area down the road.
What children's play?
There's a little children's play area down there. When I walk Reggie, I see it sometimes.
Oh, it's not very big though, is it?
No, it's not very big. But I can only have 5 people at a time anyway.
Probably closed, because you're not allowed on play
absolutely.
equipment, are you? So.
Or the roundabout. We've done the public theatre roundabout.
Oh yeah, great idea. Yeah, let's dance with the traffic, shall we?
Oh dear.
What was I going to say? Oh yes. Important to say as well, not just for karate. Before anybody gets upset and that there's going to be no kickboxing, there will be kickboxing as well. And I'm sure, in fact, I'm confident, because I know how much he's missed it. I'm sure that Coach Martin would love to do an outdoor Muay Thai session. But again, you need to give us your feedback and let us know what you think. I mean, Becky Manley's commented already, and she said she thinks it's a great idea. She's got her fingers crossed that it's going to work, it's going to work out for us, and we have too.
How big's your garden, Becky?
Yeah. Quite big, actually. I did a one-to-one with Nancy, I'm sure. It's got a big garden,
See, I have a big garden, but it's all on a slope.
Yeah.
You know, we'd all be like falling down the hill. Yeah. Unfortunately, otherwise I'd be more than happy to have people come round to my house and do a class, but I don't have a piece of flat land in the whole property.
No, and unfortunately my garden's definitely not big enough for a class. It can fit.
You do a one-to-one.
Yeah, it can fit people in my garden, but not maintaining a 2-metre distance, I think, is the thing as well. Yeah. It's quite a big area that you need to lay 5 people out in, isn't it, to cover a...
Corinne last very kindly offered to let us use her garden, and she has a huge garden.
Does she?
Yeah, she's at Stradbroke. So,
That's nice of her.
so maybe if you think Stradbroke is doable, then
Becky
let
said
us know.
yes, she has got a big garden actually.
Is she?
Hmm.
How big is big, Becky?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Corinne has very kindly offered to let us use her garden. The only thing I'm unsure of is I know that she travels to classes from Stradbroke, so obviously some people do travel that far, but I don't know how many people would travel to Stradbroke to do a class.
Well,
But
yeah.
what I need is feedback. So tell me, you know.
Stradbroke is further than Harleston from Norwich, isn't it? So
It
I
is,
think
oh yeah.
if we were opening up our classes to people from Norwich as well, then it would be even further for those guys to go.
But this and Harleston people, Waverley and Harleston, you know, whatever. If that would work for you, let us know. And that's a very kind offer.
Yeah, it's very kind. Thank you for that, Corinne, if you're watching. It's really kind of you. Yeah, so that's really the main stuff that we're working on, isn't it?
It is. It is. There are some other things that I was going to talk about. I can't think what they are now. Yes.
And that's helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
I'm sure it will come back to you.
Your point about the kickboxing is really important. Let's say, for instance, we manage to find a venue and we organise some classes. We will designate a fair proportion of those classes as kickboxing, won't we?
Of course.
And because we want everyone to get a chance to train. I miss doing all sorts of styles,
Yeah.
So we'll do a bit of everything.
And it's fair, we're not just a karate academy. We do have other styles here that we teach. So I think everyone needs to be patient as well and understand that we're not going to be teaching from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every Saturday because it would just be crazy. So
well, you've got nothing else to do.
Oh no. I may as well live here. Still, I may as well live here.
Yeah, we're not doing many less hours than we used to.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just doing different things, perhaps.
And I get home a little earlier most days.
Yeah,
but
I
other than
quite
that,
enjoy that, I have to say.
Yeah.
Quite enjoy getting home and it still being light and not eating my dinner at 10:30 at night. It's nice.
Yeah.
I know how the rest of you feel now. It's good. I like it.
Good.
I too have now forgotten what I was going to say, but yeah. So essentially, keep your eyes on our Facebook page because as soon as we have any information, we will share it with you. We won't find out about Harleston until next week, though.
No.
Because they're having their meeting next Thursday.
Yes.
So
I
it's
can't,
impossible for us to know before next Thursday.
We can't update anyone on Harleston until after next Thursday. So not tomorrow, but Thursday after. Right, so I appreciate that's a bit of time.
The 11th, Thursday the 11th.
So like I said, if anyone at the high school in Diss or the high school in Harleston, if any of you guys...
anyone, if anyone has any links to any outdoor space where they think that we may be able to do a class that's obviously not in Ipswich or somewhere like that, then let us know because it'd just be really
we'll
helpful.
Consider it, can't we? We can put the class up and see if there are any takers for slots.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
And we'll be flexible, won't we? And we'll agree a time that we think may work for people. Be good.
There he is. He's getting
he's getting excited about something.
his voice in, which he usually does every week on the podcast.
He's been very good to stay out of shot this week. Usually he'll come up here and get under the table and stick his head up over the desk or something.
I think he's experienced now when it comes to live streaming.
You think?
Well, he does that whenever you're doing a class, doesn't he?
Yeah, he goes and lays under the table
He's
with
in
you.
his little basket.
Yeah.
And he's just out of the way. But anyway.
He's missing you all, by the way. He's desperate for some company.
He's been happy this week because we've had some heating engineers in.
Yeah, heating and electricians.
Yeah.
And they're getting all of his attention. Every time they sit down for their lunch, he tries to hop on their lap.
Or nick their sandwich, I think is really what he wants to do. It's not fuss at all, but yeah. Okay, so did you remember what those things were you wanted to mention?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. You know what will happen, don't you?
Yeah, I'll remember as soon as we've finished the podcast.
Yeah.
Finish the broadcast. No, I really don't.
keep your eyes open for next week's one-to-one slots when they become available. They'll probably be available tomorrow, I would think. I'll set them live tomorrow morning.
Does anyone know what the weather is supposed to be like this Saturday?
I think Saturday's meant to be okay, but I think Sunday's meant to be a bit wet.
Well, if I say then, if we can find a venue for Saturday, and if there is demand for people to do the classes, then I will attempt to do some outdoor classes this Saturday morning, if we can find a venue. That means I won't do online one-to-ones, because I can't do both. Okay?
Well, there's none scheduled for you for this Saturday
No.
anyway, because
But,
we,
yeah,
you know,
but if we don't schedule them on purpose, then we can
yeah.
look for a venue. I'm more than happy to do that, but it's just a matter of seeing if we can get those things up and running, and then we'll go from there, really.
Yeah.
But you need to keep your eyes peeled, really notice things. When we send out an email to our list of members, we probably have 10 or 12 people who come back to us and say, I didn't get the latest
Can I have the new
password or
password?
whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going in their junk file.
Yeah.
So just check. I think the way around that is if you put us in your email, in your address book.
I think an easier way to do it is to go to your junk folder, open up the email, and it will give the option. It will say, is this not junk? And you can say, no, it's not junk. And then great, it will then continue to go into your inbox rather than your junk folder.
Okay.
Which is probably an easier way to do it. You can add us to your contacts, but I think the easiest thing to do is just to say it's not junk. Yeah, but like you say, that's really important. Keep your eyes on that, because we will be sending out new passwords and things like that as well.
Obviously, we can't send out new passwords on Facebook because everyone would get them.
And it's just too difficult as well. It's too time consuming for us, because we'd have to send them individually to all of our members.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so that would just be chaotic, and rather than pressing one button, it would be a whole day's job to find everybody and send them the information.
Yeah.
The second thing, or not the second thing, but the other thing that I wanted to mention was something that we spoke about yesterday, and that was the idea or the possibility of having a BBA WhatsApp group.
Yes.
So we appreciate that not all of our members have Facebook. You know, lots of people don't have social media, which is absolutely fine and understandable, if I'm honest. So a lot of you do watch us on YouTube because you don't have Facebook, which also means if you don't have Facebook, you don't have access to our Facebook page, where we do tend to publish a lot of our updates, a lot of our news, things that are coming up, things that are happening, photos, you know, that kind of thing. So what we thought was maybe to have a WhatsApp group. Now, we have one or two WhatsApp groups already.
We have an instructors
we have an
WhatsApp
instructors
group.
WhatsApp group. We have instructor training WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we have a tournament team.
And we have a tournament team WhatsApp group. And at the minute, lots of people are sending us stuff through the tournament team one, which is great. So, for example, they might be watching this podcast now and they'll send us a message through that WhatsApp group, which got me thinking, would it be beneficial to have a massive BBA one? So let us know your thoughts on that. I think it would be a really good idea. Most people have a mobile phone. Most people have a mobile phone with the capability to have WhatsApp. So again, your thoughts. Your thoughts would be great. And it would just be such an easy way for us to send out a bulk message to our members. We can then control who's in the group. So if people leave and they're not members anymore, we can remove them from the group really easily. And it'd just be a handy thing to have, I think.
Yeah, it'd be really simple, really straightforward.
So yeah, thoughts on that? Thoughts on the WhatsApp group, please.
Okay.
All right.
I think that covers just about everything, isn't it?
I think so.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep your eyes and ears open, and if you can help us with any venues, fantastic. Please let us know. Even if that help is only to let us know who we can contact, who may be able to help us.
Yeah.
And the question with Norwich, of course, or parks in general, if it's okay to use a park without getting permission from anyone, great, let us know. Because I'd love to know that.
I genuinely don't
have
any idea.
There's a park at Dis as well, isn't there? You know, that may be an option if we are allowed to use it without having to we'll keep all the social distancing rules and all the other non-contact stuff.
We'll be sensible, won't we? We understand that there's something serious going on.
No sparring, obviously.
Yeah, no partner work. Becky, to answer your question that you've just asked really quickly before we sign off, that's a good question actually, because this is something else we did discuss. Becky said the WhatsApp group sounds a good idea. Would you allow the kids to join, or is it parents only? I think parents only. We think parents only. Just because...
It's just not really appropriate that we send messages to kids, is it?
No, that's it, plain and simple. There's no other way to beat around the bush. And if you're under 18, then your parents are responsible for you anyway. They're the ones who deal with, your membership, they deal with us. So really, if you're under 18, then no, you won't find yourself in that WhatsApp group, unfortunately. But it's fine, because your parents will be in it, and they can relay the messages to you anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that'll be disappointing for some, but them's the rules, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, we've just got to be sensible with everything, really.
Yeah. And of course, if we add you to the group and you don't want to be in the group, you can remove yourself as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we get feedback which says, sounds like a great idea, and we add all the numbers that we have to the WhatsApp group, and you think, oh, I don't want to be part of this, well, fine, you can just opt out. It's very easy to remove yourself.
Yeah.
And we don't mind. I'm a member of a couple of Facebook groups, and I know that one person will post a comment in a Facebook group, and then every other person will do a thumbs up sign or something, and that means that with 50 odd people in the group, I get 50 notifications that someone's done a thumbs up. I think, can we please stop acknowledging every single message, because there's no need to.
To be honest, it won't be that kind of group. Some things may need acknowledging, but
it's just a way for us to pass out information, really.
There won't be anything in that group that's personal. So, for example, I'll use Becky as an example, as I'm kind of speaking to Becky here. If Nancy's licence expired, or you owed us some money, something like that, we wouldn't put in that big old group message, "Oi Becky, cough up, you owe us some cash." It's not that kind of group.
It would be a group message thing.
Yeah, like we've got this event coming up, or there's a tournament at such and such, or this is a new competition we're running. Get involved with this. It's that kind of group. It's
or
not...
this class has got a time change, or this class is going to be a circuit class, or whatever. Something like that. Just general Black Belt Academy information.
Exactly, and when it's Christmas time and I go crazy for the Christmas party, you'll be bombarded with Christmas stuff. It's going to be that kind of thing. Yes. Oh, good news as well. People who have ordered the merchandise, the 40th anniversary stuff, I'm thinking it's going to be sorted by Friday. I had an email from the guys at Striptease and Dis on, what's today, Wednesday, Monday, just to tell me that they were cracking on with it. So hopefully by the end of the week we should have it, and we'll get it to you as and when we can.
Having said that, there are one or two people who haven't paid for it yet. So if you could pay for it, that would be wonderful, because we will have to pay for it before we collect it.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't put that in that WhatsApp group. Oi, John Smith.
Cough up and give us the cash. Yeah. As tempting as it might be. No. But yeah, if you could sort that out, that'd be great, because we'll just hold your stuff to ransom otherwise, or sell it on to somebody else. So
you're ruthless, Maisie.
I am ruthless. Roof. Exactly. Right, okay, I'm going to go over that way then.
Okay.
Turn everything on.
Well, it's been lovely speaking to you again, and I hope it's been informative and useful. And remember, we're not stopping the podcast, we're just using our time to do something in a more efficient way. And we love the idea of doing podcasts, having discussions on audio, and we will keep them coming, but just not with a video backup, unless loads of you say, oh no, please keep the video element in the podcast. All right, lovely to see you.